chop it up. In my hood, there ain't really much to eat. Popeyes on the corner, McDonald's right across the street. All this talk about guns and the drugs, pretty serious.
Peace. How you doing?
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Doing amazing.
Good to have you on. Good to have you on, man.
Thank you for having me on, good brother.
Oh yeah. You know, it's that time that we bring powerful individuals to meet up together and you know, share stories and broadcast the real work that we doing in the community that don't nobody really get to see.
Bro. I'm glad you brought that up. Real talk.
Yeah. Yes. So tell the people your name. Tell the people who you are. Give the people a little background, and let's get straight into it, man. I'm ready to go.
Bet. So my name is Antonio Stovall, also known as Sobek Raheru. Sobek pretty much means like it carries the energy of somebody who's like a healer, but also a warrior. So Sobek is the energy that talks about how you wanted to protect the people from not only sickness, but also from poverty as well. So I go by, that's my initiatic name, Sobek Raheru. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia, the Star City, probably one of the best cities in the United States. And I'm not saying that just because I'm from Roanoke, but just the environment. We're surrounded by mountains. We have a beautiful river that runs in the middle through our city. We have access to good food. We have access to clean air. It's a small jewel. Probably we've been nominated a couple times for being one of the best cities in the United States. So proud about the city I come from, Roanoke, Virginia. I grew up playing basketball. Most people who know me in my community know me from playing basketball. I got a full ride scholarship to play at Virginia Union University, which is a HBCU. Probably it was one of the best HBCUs in the United States when it came to basketball. Unfortunately, I didn't finish because during that time I was going through some internal challenges. This was back in probably like 2005. I was going through some internal challenges. My younger years, I raised by my mother. My father was in and out my life. I got into, so this to go back a little further. So as a child, I could remember myself putting myself in like a trance state. And this goes forward until how I got into meditation. So I didn't really have, like, some people remember it as a child that they may have seen spirits, they may have seen different other types of entities. I never had that type of experience. I just remember me as a child being able to put myself in a trance and being able to focus my mind on a particular goal and being able to achieve that goal. But as I got older, I started to battle with depression and stress. So that was opened up the doors for me to get into meditation. And once I got into meditation, that's when I started to change up my diet. And that's probably back in 2005. I slowly started to transition myself into a more plant-based way of eating. And then in 2012, my mother transitioned. She was murdered, and I could have picked two paths. I could have went on the path of self-destruction or the path of healing. So I picked the path of healing. And I went around the country studying with some of the best master teachers in my mind in the United States and in the world. Queen of Four, Dr. Jewel Pulchrum, Chief Amanchi, Yasir Rahotep, Baba Kwesi, and a sister that I'm learning from right now to become a Sangoma, which is a soul doctor, Go-Go. So I had the opportunity to learn from a lot of great minds, man, and I'm just grateful to be, like, again, to come on this show and to share my experience with your audience and my people as well.
Man, that's a that's a hell of an opening, my brother. If I have to say so myself, man, it's a lot to unpack right there. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful. That's powerful. And I never heard somebody describe their city in the manner and where they come from and what you did. And I heard you talk about the elements in there. How important is that? How important is the element?
If we're talking about healing, we have to talk about the elements, because when we get into holistic health, I practice holistic health. I practice African spirituality, and not even African spirituality, it's indigenous spirituality. The elements are important because when we're talking about water, water brings a form of purification. Even when we're trying to cleanse ourselves, we use water, whether it be steaming, whether it be doing enemas, we use water. So we have access to a river where I go and I do purification rituals. I also do my meditations. A lot of my downloads come from me listening to the river, because once you start to listen to that river, the sounds of the water puts you into a trance. It puts you into a meditative state. And this is where I get a lot of my insights, whether it either be for my next business venture or certain songs, or just getting answers to certain problems. Also, we're surrounded by mountains, so I use the mountain element to go to get access to fresh air, because you can go 2 weeks without food, you can go a couple of days without liquids, but you can only go a couple moments without breathing. So breath, and doing that breath work is important. So when I want to do my breath work, I do it all the time. But when I want to get into higher levels of consciousness, I go to the mountains and do that breath work. So the elements are important to our healing, bro.
Definitely, and that's why I wanted to. I didn't want to breeze over that, and the fact that you mentioned that and where you come from, and I think that's an important placement. You know, where you at, and not to continue to unpack your opening statement, man. Sorry to hear about your mother, man. I knew that from a post that you had pinned, but I never heard you speak on it or nothing. If you don't mind speaking on just briefly, how did that affect you?
That's a great question, bro. I'm glad you asked that. It impacted me. I mean, my mother was, I had a good connection with my mom. So just to go to work one day and just to find out that my mother was no longer here, it changed my world. But at the same time, it changed me for the better, because I was already doing the work. But once my mom transitioned, I started to do the work even deeper. Because it was one of those things where I could easily went on the path of self-destruction, because my brother was in the streets, my cousins was in the streets, I lived in the hood, so I grew up around that environment. So I could have easily went left. I could have easily went out and got into trapping even harder. I could have easily went out and just started doing crazy stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to I'm gonna hit the path of healing myself, and through this journey, I want to show others the importance of healing. And also another powerful experience that I had was when my mom transitioned, she murdered by her boyfriend took her life, and the coward ended up taking his life. So that process, nobody wanted to go in the house. My family didn't want to go in the house. So me and my mother's friend, we ended up going in the house, and I had to clean the blood of my mom, bro. You know what I'm saying? And wow. I share people. I tell people that part of the story, because to this day I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And during that process, I started to give my mother offerings, because that's another part. Again, like, we're not just a physical body, we're also a spiritual body as well. So when I started to give my mother offerings, as she was transitioning to the world of the dead, I felt that was strengthening not only my spirit, but my connection to my mother. And after that process, my mother till this day has been open. I feel, my personal belief, I feel that she's been opening up doors for me.
Wow. Hey, man, that take a lot of strength, man. I couldn't only imagine. I couldn't even imagine, something like that, and still to continue to deal with that, to be in your mind, like that's some trauma. But how do you overcome something like that?
One of the first things I did, I joined the organization. This organization called the Earth Center, and they pretty much specialized in ancestral veneration and spiritual purification. So once I went through that process of initiation, it taught me how to understand the importance of death. It taught me how to understand that energy can't be created, energy can't be destroyed. That when our loved ones transition, they're just transitioning into another phase, but we still have access to them if we do the internal work, if we do the purification of the mind and the heart, if we do the meditations, the rituals, we can still have access to them. So since my mother transitioned, bro, my connection with her has been even stronger. So just that, just me connecting back to my ancestral knowledge, it helped me deal with it and understand that death is not the end. Even when we look at some of the oldest texts, when we're dealing with ancient Kemet, ancient African spirituality, they celebrated death. They didn't see death as like a bad thing. They seen death as the next phase in our becoming. And that's how I see it. And that's how I mean, not that they got over it, but that's how I was learning how to cope with it, because it was very traumatic.
Right. Wow. I commend you on your strip, brother. That's definitely for sure. And that's inspiring, just to know that you can overcome something like that and deal with it and vibrate on the level that you are after trauma like that, man. Definitely, I appreciate your strength on that. Talking about transitioning, death, meditation, holistic health, trauma. Okay, what is holistic health to you?
To break down holistic health to the most simplest form, it means you being connected back to your culture, back to your understanding of how you exist in this mental, this physical, and this spiritual reality. Because if you go to the bush in Africa, if you go to the bush in South America, you're trying to teach them holistic health, they're not going to know what you're talking about, because they're already connected to a culture. They already understand how they connect with the elements. They understand how they connect with the cosmos. So to me, holistic health is understanding the importance of you connecting with your culture, because once you understand your culture gives you the codes and the principles on how to heal yourself on a mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional level, and a cosmic level.
And how would you say how do you connect with your culture? How do you identify with your culture? Like, some people, I think a lot of people don't know what our culture is.
I know, bro. That's the thing. That's the thing. Especially us melanated people here in America, Black people here in America, we've lost a lot key elements of our culture. So I think it's up to each individual to go and seek, because my understanding of culture is going to be different from a brother who's practicing the Moorish culture, or the Hebrew Israelite culture, or the Nubian culture. It's going to look different. So I think every individual has to do their own investigation on what that culture looks like to you, because again, a lot of it has been destroyed. So through my own research, through my own internal, I've done a lot of internal investigation through meditation. I've come to an understanding of what my culture looks like to me, and I will pass down to my child and my future children, and also give other youth that I work with in my community insight on how to tap into their culture. I don't tell them that my way is the right way. I give them the different spiritual houses, the different cultures, whether it be the Hebrew, whether it be the Moor, whether it be any other culture, the Nubian, et cetera, 5%, whatever. I give them all those different perspectives and let them come to their own conclusion. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense, bro?
Okay.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And just to piggyback on that, how would you, somebody who's sitting at home who like, you speak in a lot of language that a lot of people probably not familiar with. You know, you mentioned in a lot of different group names and stuff like that. How would a young man at home sit back listening to us say, how would he start off? What should he do to identify himself and to figure out what his culture is?
I would say the first thing he would want to do is go within himself, get to understanding the importance of meditation, getting the understanding of self-inquiry, asking yourself certain questions, and let your intuition guide you to that right person. And it may take some trial and errors. You may come across one or two teachers that you thought you resonated with, but come to find out you don't resonate with them. So it's like a trial and error type of thing. And don't give up. Don't give up on your journey. And be open-minded. You have to be open. You have to be open to different perspectives when it comes to reality, man. That's important. And be consistent. Be consistent and be genuine for the quest. And understand that is important. Purification is important. So purification of the mind, body, and spirit is important. The more you clean your vessel, the more you're going to attract the things that are good for you. And
I'm glad you said that, because when you mention holistic health, how big is eating? How big is what we eating got to do with holistic health?
Man, I mean, once I get into meditation, my spirit just naturally led me in the course of eating better. But once I started to eat better, I noticed I started to feel better. I started to think better. So diet and what we consume is so important. And the individuals that I work with, bro, I had to be more diplomatic when it comes to my message on how I talk about food, because a lot of the people that I'm dealing with, brother, they can't afford to eat a certain way. They can't afford, like, their children. So they're children, and they're coming from an environment where they may not even know what the next meal. So they have to eat the cookies. They have to eat the cereal. They have to eat the donuts. They have to drink the soda and stuff like that. So I have to be very diplomatic on how I share my message. So what I do is I give them alternative. Okay, yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to eat an apple, make sure you eat that apple before you eat that candy bar. Or if you have an opportunity to come across an orange, make sure you eat that orange before you eat that muffin in the morning time. So I had to be like I said, I had to be very diplomatic because a lot of our youth are in a state of hopelessness. So if I go in and just go give them the truth about the food and how it's killing us, then more than likely that's going to make them feel even more hopeless. So what I have to do, I have to give them insight on the power of their mind, and that's why I really push the idea on meditation to our youth, because once they start to heal their mind, everything else will follow. Because that's where true healing starts. True healing starts in the mind, and then everything else will follow.
Okay, so that's your way to combat a difficult situation, by not trying to scare them off, and trying to get them to understand more, which is understandable. And I think that's why we got people like me and other people in the community who suggest and recommend the diet so strongly. And, but you know that you're doing what you can do, and you know that's appreciative. So we're gonna get into meditation, man. I hear you. I see a lot of your posts, a lot of your work. Before we get into your work with the youth, we want to explain this meditation, man, because I think what you're doing is phenomenal. And I see your slogan, or your what you say a lot is the only way. What is it? The only way out is in.
Yeah.
Can you explain that, please?
So to me, the only way out is in means like the only way to get out of the depression, the sickness, the stress, the depression is to go within yourself, to start to transcend those emotions, to transcend those negative thoughts, to transcend that internal sickness. We have to start going within ourselves. And to me, meditation is going to be the future of healing, because the research that I'm coming across and the people that I'm coming across is showing how the mind can literally heal the body. Even if you are not eating the best of foods, you still can heal your body with certain meditative techniques, which is very, very powerful.
So what level of meditation are we talking here? Because like for someone like myself, I mean, I'm getting myself together. I'm eating a lot of fruits. The next level I think I want to go to, I think for me, I'm thinking starting with the diet and starting with the cleansing of the body is the first step for me. And then I move on. I feel like meditation is the next work with the breath work and stuff. Can you describe meditation to a beginner?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, if you look up the word meditation, the definition means to contemplate or reflect. So anytime you find yourself contemplating, anytime you find yourself reflecting, you're actually doing a form of meditation. The thing is, there are different types of meditation. You have chants, you have mantras, you have breath work, you have moving meditation, you have self-inquiry, you have mindfulness meditation, you have observation meditation. So it's different types of meditations. I will say, even if you're going through your transition of cleansing your temple, I think you still, at this point, not saying that you're not, but you still, in this very moment, can still practice some form of meditation. And the more you cleanse, you can raise your understanding of other forms of meditation. But for somebody that's a beginner, I would say mindfulness meditation is something that anybody can implement, because mindfulness is teaching you just how to be more present, how to be more in the moment.
Mindfulness meditation.
Yes. One of the best people to learn from is Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh, may he rest in peace, was a Buddhist monk who pretty much made mindfulness meditation global. I actually have some of his books in my office. Also, another brother named Dr. Kibet Zen. Wherever you go, there you are. I think that's the name of his book. Wherever you go, there you are. That's another book that you can get that deals with mindfulness meditation. And mindfulness meditation teaches you how to be more present, how to be more in the moment, because what happens is people get caught up in the past, people get caught up in the future. So what mindfulness meditation does is teaches you how to be more present. Being present when you're sitting, when you're eating, when you're taking a shower, when you are driving, whatever situation you're in, you want to be more mindful. And then, of course, breath work. Breathing is something that we do naturally every single day of our life. So breath work is another form of meditation, and I feel that we can do at beginners. We just have to be consistent with it, because unfortunately, breath work is very challenging. Actually, breath work, when we get into yoga, breath work is actually the highest forms of yoga. So breath work is challenging, but it's important that we be consistent with it, because over time you get better and better and better at it. Thich Nhat Hanh. Yep, Thich Nhat Hanh. I got one of his books right here. It's Taming the Tiger Within. I think it's probably backwards. But Thich Nhat Hanh is Thich, Thich, not Nhat, Hanh, H-A-N-H. This is one of his books, Taming the Tiger Within. So this is a good book, again, on mindfulness meditation.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I say, man, like, say, I'm sitting back, I'm trying to, I'm getting up, I'm sitting up straight, I'm trying to meditate. These simple techniques, I get lost really quick.
That's natural. The mind is supposed to get lost. The mind is supposed to move. You're not the mind, you're just the observer. So once you notice that mind is moving, you just observe it. And once you observe it, mind sees that and comes back to the moment. And then what happens is mind is going to move again. You become aware of that again, and you bring it back. And the more you do that, what you're actually doing, you're strengthening the part of your brain that is going to now become that's going to become more present. So the mind actually wants to move, but you being the observer, you have to become aware of that movement and bring it back to the moment. So what happens is you keep doing it, and after weeks, after months, it starts to slow down. And then what happens is, even with me, after all these years, I meditate. Some days my mind is hectic, but yet I just remain that observer, that conscious observer, that quantum observer. And what happens is, the more you're patient with yourself, the more you're patient with your mind starts to settle, and it starts to become more quiet and more relaxed. And this is when you really start to tap in, and you start to connect with your higher self. You start to connect with the ancestors. You start to connect with the divine forces. When you start to quiet yourself. But the goal is, Bobby, when you or anybody else, is just to observe. Don't judge yourself. Don't think that your mind has to be still. Just remain that observer. Does that make sense, bro?
Yeah, it make a lot of sense, and make a lot of sense that it's something that you have to do every day. Do put it to your routine and practice it and become something. It make a lot of sense. I appreciate that. Wow. Got a lot of knowledge when it comes to this.
Appreciate it, bro.
You can tell that you're very well studied. The people can probably tell that just like I can. How did you get into this area of study or this meditation and working with the youth? And talk about your work with the youth, because we definitely gonna emphasize
so check
that.
this out, bro. This is deep. So how you ever heard of Dr. Jewel Pookrum?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, I love her.
I actually studied with Dr. Jewel Pookrum. So back in I think it was like probably like 2016, I studied with her the Jewel Pookrum University. I went through her brain balancing course, where she teaches you meditations on how to balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. But during that journey, I met a brother named I forget his name, but I met this elder named his name is Wanique Shabazz, and he taught a concept called the 13 moon 28-day calendar. 13 moon 28-day calendar. And and then once he introduced me to that, he introduced me to my GPS. My GPS is my galactic purpose signature. So once I learned my GPS, my galactic purpose signature, I learned that I came into this particular physical reality as a yogi. So your galactic purpose signature is it's based on the Mayan or the Olmec cosmology that deals with your purpose and your gifts. So I came into existence as what they call the white mirror, but manifests itself in this particular realm as a yogi. And I can remember, as like I told you before, as a child, I can remember myself putting myself in a trance, in a meditative state. So once I came across this knowledge, it clicked. Stuff started to make sense. So then what I did was I reached out to Yasir Rahotep. You know Yasir Rahotep?
Can't say that I do.
He's the brother who pushes the Kemetic yoga. He's internationally known. He lives in Chicago. So I reached out to him, and I wanted to learn Kemetic yoga. I was like, okay, so if I came into existence as a yogi, because I was already doing martial arts. I was already into I was doing Wing Chun Kung Fu. So I'm also a Sifu. And the reason I got into that is because of meditation. I was studying Buddha Dharma, and Buddha Dharma was the brother who created Kung Fu. So I was already aware of moving meditation, but I was just wasn't aware of the yoga. So once I reached out to Yasir Rahotep, he was the brother doing the Kemetic yoga. Kemetic yoga is a form of African yoga. So I ended up studying with him, and I went to Egypt with that brother for 2.5 weeks, and I finished my certification in Egypt. I had the opportunity to meditate in the pyramids. I had the opportunity to meditate, do my chants in the different temples. So once I came back to Roanoke, bro, I promise you, doors started opening up for me left and right, bro. I promise you. So many doors. I tell people what I'm doing right now, what you see me doing in the community right now, bro, is actually plan B. This wasn't my original. My original intent was to go around the world and around the country to study from different people and bring that knowledge back here to Roanoke. But what I'm doing right now is I put myself in a situation where I have access to. I work part-time at a high school teaching African American culture. My program 3 years ago started off with 20 kids. Now my program's up to 70 kids, bro, with a waiting list. My program is doing so good that they're trying to implement it in my city. Not only that, my program got national recognition. It was in Essence magazine. It was in Black Enterprise. It was in on Yahoo News. You know what I'm saying? And work full time as a youth and gang violence outreach worker. So I'm actually working with the brothers that's not only out here shooting people, but out here getting shot. So I'm giving them that knowledge and information as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing a lot of groundwork, a lot of our youth that's really out here getting it in, giving them this information.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah, man. I just want to shake your hand. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Thank you for doing the work, man. You know what though? We're not gonna breeze over. We go definitely get into that. We're not gonna breeze over that trip to Egypt though. Tell the people about Egypt, man.
First of all, Cairo and Aswan. Cairo, when you go to Cairo, I think that's the capital of Egypt. Cairo is more so of the people who look Arabic. They're light skinned. But when you go to Aswan, you got people there that look like you and I. And when you go there, they're addressing you as your brother. They're addressing you as family. They show you a lot of love. They show me so much love. The energy when you go into these pyramids. When you go into these pyramids, brother, you instantly feel meditation. Anything that's been troubling you on your heart, in your mind, it dissolves. It disappears. Because energy that's in these pyramids is so, the frequency is so high that as soon as you step in these pyramids, you instantly feel you instantly feel grounded. You instantly feel at peace. You instantly feel calm. You instantly feel relaxed. If you do have a thought, that thought will be magnified even more because of the energy. So if you go into this pyramid and you feel like you want to project and manifest something, that you're going to see that thought even clearer because your mind and your body is so relaxed that you see that picture in your mind clear as day.
Wow.
So it's important that we travel, bro, and it's important that we go to different places around the world where the energy is pure and the energy and it's a high frequency, because we can tap in that. And again, that's another way for us to heal ourselves on a cellular level when we go to these different places.
So many ways of healing, man, when you talk about, you know what I mean? Like the work with the youth. I got a lot of family that's youth. You know what I'm saying? And, out here in trouble and doing the wrong things, and not even to get to talking about what you eat. They ain't listening.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you.
You know. So how do we introduce our youth and our people who can't get it, who can't get right? So how do me and you come together and force the energy on them? How can we do that?
I think we got to do it with, I think because a lot of them are stressing, a lot of them are depressed. I think one of the ways, if we can get them to start meditating, bro. And then with the meditation, what it does, man, it relaxes you. So you can really start to look at your reality for what it is. So that's one of the things I've been trying to do, and just being open. But also too, bro, understand that, I mean, this may be kind of harsh, but a lot of them we may not be able to reach right now. Some of them we may not be able to reach. So what I try to do, I try to find those light workers, the ones who are ready, and I work with them. Not saying I shun the ones who are not ready, but I try to put more energy into the ones who are ready versus the ones who are not trying. Because some of them are they're just out here. They're traumatized, bro, and they're not trying to hear nothing about eating healthy. They're not trying to hear anything about history. They're not trying to hear anything about meditation. They're just trying to get some money. They're trying to get that next strap, or they're just trying to hit that next blunt. So they're not trying to hear none of that. So we have to just be patient with them, but there's a lot of them that do want the information. There's a lot of them that do want to eat right and stuff like that.
And do you have children of your own?
I have a son. His name is Asar. Asar means the living ancestor. My son was born with he had like 2 holes in his heart, so he spent his first 3 to 4 months in the hospital, and so he's 3 years old now. He's still healing, and he's a special young man. Has a powerful story.
Much healing to him. Much healing to him.
You got any kids, Bobby?
Oh, yeah, I got
that's
2.
What's up, bro? That's what's up.
I got a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And trying to get them to eat healthy and deal with this and all of that. Bro, it's difficult. It's a transition for me. And,
hey, bro, I want to say something, bro. One thing I respect about you, Bobby, is that you don't follow the crowd when it comes to the diet. you go against the norms. Meaning, like, when there's certain fruits they quote unquote they say you should mix, I see you mixing them, and you okay with, and I respect that because I'm the same way. Like, I think a lot of times what happens is we leave from religion, and then we bring this. We call ourselves spiritual, but yet we bring a lot of the same type of religious type of mindset to this new paradigm of spirituality. And that's, like I said, that's something I respect about you, brother, because I do the same thing. So I just want to say salute to that.
Definitely,
You
I
get open
appreciate
to
that,
be
man.
your own man, and trust in your spirit and your intuition.
Facts. And I mean a lot. Because I tell everybody coming into this whole process, one of the things that I think I pride myself in is having my own identity and having my own voice. And you know, it takes courage.
It really do.
You know what I mean? Definitely. So and that's what we see in your community, putting the work in, taking courage. You know, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of people who the rate of failure is really high.
When I first started doing this work, bro, in my community, man, they thought I was crazy. They thought I was weird. They didn't want to hear me. It's still to this day, I still get a lot of pushback. It's a lot of taboo against eating right. It's a lot of taboos against meditation in the black community. However, since we're in a stage of awakening, it's starting to become more. People are starting to accept it more. But bro, let me tell you this: when my mom's transition, bro, there was a rumor that was going around. Didn't go around for that long, but probably like not even a day. But it was a rumor going around that said that I went crazy and killed my mom because of the fact that I was into meditation, I was eating right, and I was meditating, bro. And I was into Kung Fu. You know what I'm saying? Our community, our people thought I went crazy, bro.
Hey,
Check this out, Bobby. But if I was on that corner with that pack, smoking that blunt, if I was on that corner knocking out a crackhead, I would be seen as normal. If I was on the corner going to plotting on to rob somebody, I would be considered as somebody's normal. That's crazy, right?
Fact. Yeah. There's a stigma around positivity, and I think I was going to ask you, why do you think there is a stigma, or like you said, a taboo around meditation?
I think a lot of it's dealing with religion. Our people getting caught up in, and I ain't got nothing against religion, against the Abrahamic faith, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, nothing against it, but it puts your mind in a box. And anything that's outside of that box is seen as demonic, it's seen as evil, etc., etc. So that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people see meditation as like evil and stuff like that, because it goes against their programming.
Yeah. That make a lot of sense. Do you me and you discussed something when we had a discussion, and a lot of people don't know about this, but you sent me a video you did about the 13th son.
I knew you used to do. I was like, if this brother know about 13 son, yeah, it's the truth. Because 13 son was on this, a lot of this stuff what we talking about now, he was on it back then.
Back then. And one of his important messages was get back to nature, turn the TV off, and stop eating sugar. And so it's basically all the things we telling the people to do now. Going forward, man, what's your plans? What's your plans to continue to do the work? What you putting the emphasis on? And what should we be looking out for?
Bro, I'm glad. That's a perfect question, bro. You're a great interviewer, bro. I promise. You asked really good questions. So for the last two years, bro, I've actually been going through another initiation to become a Sangoma. A Sangoma is a soul doctor. In Africa, or also a Sangoma would also be seen as like a shaman, but from an African perspective. So in South Africa, over 70% of the people in South Africa go to a Sangoma before they go to a actual doctor, because they feel that sickness starts on a spiritual level versus a physical level. So I'm actually going through a transition right now to become a Sangoma here in America. And in May, I'll be done with that journey. And once I'm done with that journey, right now, I really haven't really been promoting my personal work. I've been promoting the work that I do through other organizations, but I really haven't been promoting my personal work. So once I'm done with that, my training, I'll be considered a quote unquote Sangoma, and I will start pushing that message, that healing. And I will start opening back up my platform, because I also at one time was doing interviews, and I'm definitely going to have you on my show called APTV, Ancestral Perspective Television. I'm going to start that back up, and I'm really just going to push the message, bro, and continue to do spiritual work for people, because I also do divination readings for people. I also do purification rituals for people. I also do spiritual consultations for people. I'm about to get into music. I'm about to get into music because I want to use music as a way to help heal our people as well. So that's what I got planned moving forward. And eventually I got some land down in Franklin County, which is like in the country, probably like 30, 45 minutes away. And eventually I want to build some type of temple where people can come and get that purification, get that healing work done.
Man, I think that's dope. I would definitely let it be a part of something like that. Definitely. As far as the meditation, do you offer like any assistance? You offer any classes or consultation?
Yeah, bro, that's another good question. So I also, bro, I do a lot, man. So I still teach meditation. I teach Medi Yoga and meditation at the YMCA on Mondays at 6 o'clock. But I also teach online. If somebody want to get like a consultation, I can help them with some meditation techniques. If you want to get some resources on meditation, right now, meditation is evolving. I actually made a post about this a couple weeks. Meditation is evolving. So one of the people to study right now to take you deep into your meditation is a brother named Dr. Joe Dispenza. Have you ever heard of him before?
No, only when you mentioned it to me the other day.
If you get a chance again, bro. And this for you.
Can you spell his name for us?
Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dispenza. So, and this is for the audience, because I know we talked about this earlier, and for my peoples, because I don't think I really talked about my experience. So 3 weeks ago, I went down to Orlando, Florida for an advanced meditation workshop. So keep in mind that these tickets are five bands a piece. So the people who are coming to these meditation technique, these meditation trainings are doctors, lawyers, scientists, entrepreneurs. I'm pretty sure it was some millionaires there. We had over 50 different countries come to Orlando, Florida. Over 2,000 people come to Orlando, Florida to be a part of this meditation community. And Dr. Joe Dispenza has done some of the biggest research, largest research on meditation and healing. On how when you meditate, he has these 7-day advanced meditation retreats, where in these 7 days, people are creating chemicals in the body that are like medicine that heals them from chronic diseases like stage 4 cancer. When this woman would, and he's showing that not only he has the scientists and the doctors explaining how this stuff is happening, but they're healing from stage 4 cancer. Their body is full with tumors. Next thing you know, the tumors are gone. You can look up spontaneous healing or a spontaneous remission, and that's a lot of research where in that. People, he talked about how this one woman who lost, I think she has something was wrong with her thyroid, and I think that the doctors had to cut it off or something like that. But she ended up growing her thyroid back. It's people who couldn't see they started doing these meditation techniques, they could start seeing. Believe it or not, bro, a lot of the people that were coming to this meditation was disabled. There were people in I seen people like in wheelchairs, bro, who they couldn't walk when they got there. By the time they were leaving, by the time they left, they were up, getting out of that seat and walking. Not saying they were walking normal, but they had built up the confidence. Right. They had released that energy. They had released that trauma, so that divine intelligence to come and start to heal their body. So now they can start to walk. You know what I'm saying? So we did over 40 hours of lecture, 35 hours of meditation. We did a pineal gland meditation that was for 5 hours. Most people, I was telling my students this the other day when I came back, most of you all have trouble sitting for 5 minutes. I did a meditation for 5 hours. If I can sit for 5 hours, you can sit for 5 minutes. So then I started making them meditate for 15, 20 minutes, and they love it. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm sharing this, bro, is because one of the things that Dr. Joe talks about is when he was doing a lot of his research, and he was doing a lot at his clinic, a lot of the people that were coming in his facility that had developed chronic illness was the people who were having these I wouldn't say extreme diets, but who were the quote unquote vegans, and who had these plant-based diets. And he said the reason why they were still developing these chronic illnesses is because they still had a fear in them that caused them to develop this particular sickness. There's actual documentary that you can look up on YouTube called Heal, Heal. In the documentary, there was a woman who had the best diet. She was doing X, Y, and Z, and she still ended up developing cancer. And the reason being is because she didn't deal with the internal emotional trauma that she had. And when she started to deal with that, she started to heal. She started to heal herself from that cancer. So that's the stuff that Dr. Joe is teaching, and that's why his information is so important, because people are healing themselves. They don't have to have a particular diet. They just have to go in and do the internal work. Not saying that I'm just going to stop eating clean, but I'm going to add that tool to my toolbox. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, give our people hope that they can still heal, even if they don't go all the way plant-based. Still keep that. If you don't want to go all the way plant-based now, still keep that on the table. But also, don't get down on yourself and think that you can't heal yourself if you don't eat a certain type of way. That makes sense.
And I would say definitely. Though it would be a lot of people that's going to come back at. Definitely in the plant-based community where healing, food is healing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
but the thing is, though, Bobby, like the research is there, the science is there.
Right.
I mean, I've part of a lot of these plant-based communities, and I've seen for myself people who was plant-based still end up developing a chronic illness. I've also seen a lot of people who are plant-based who still have a dark spirit. If you understand what I'm saying, they still just have a whole bunch of negativity that's in them. They still have a cultish type of mindset. If you're not alkaline, if I'm raw and you alkaline, now all of a sudden we're beefing with each other because we got different ideologies on how to eat. So to me, all that is a form of dis-ease. And I think that's a sickness within this. It's a mental sickness.
And definitely, I think that could be a argument made, because you see a lot of that in the community. The plant-based community is not excused from people who are negative and got hate in their heart. You know what I'm saying? That's the fact. And I was always under the impression that everything you put under the holistic health umbrella is important.
Yeah, everything. You're right, bro. You're right.
You know what I mean? And trying to divide one as more important than the other shows a level that you're not ready to move forward. So you need to start conquering them all. Bro. But
I mean, I know at one time people were
definitely.
saying that. I think somebody in the Dr. Sabi community saying that we shouldn't be eating pineapples. Like, come on, bro. Like, I can't eat pineapple.
They too acidic.
Really, so if I
Yeah.
eat a pineapple, I'm just gonna drop dead, man. Come on now. I love pineapples, bro. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, dang, man, I shouldn't be eating this pineapple. I'm like, man, I can't worry about that. As long as I'm feeling good, as long if my emotionally, if I'm grateful, emotionally, if I'm resonating on a frequency of love, that pineapple is not gonna harm me.
Never. And I mean, I think it's a lot of things to learn in the community. I think that's why it's important, like people like you and I stick to doing what we do, and because the word gonna get out in the surrounding area. We can't reach everybody. We got to reach people around us, and that's why I commend you. And when I see you doing the work that you're doing, because it shows that you care about your community. You know what I'm saying? And it inspires me to do the work for my community, and that's why I wanted to bring you on and build with you. So, man, please tell the people everything that they need to know about everything about you and everything you want them to know before we end it live and go forward, man.
I just want to tell the people, man, that I'm a seeker of truth. I would say I'm open-minded. I've taught myself to learn how to be the observer when it comes to certain situations. So I really try not to judge just because of the situation that I'm in, the seat that I'm sitting in right now. I have to be mindful of how I present certain information and how I share certain information, because I work with a lot of different people. And unfortunately, some of the people I work with don't have the resources. They don't have the money. They don't have the insight and the knowledge to live the way or eat the way that I eat or live the way that I live. So I have to be very mindful. So I don't want nobody in the plant-based community to think that I'm trying to push an alternative lifestyle outside of the plant-based community. I understand the importance of eating raw. I understand the importance of eating fruit. I understand the importance of eating my vegetables. I understand the importance of the herbs. I understand the importance of fasting. I understand the importance of all that. But at the same time, I have to be, like I said, I have to be very diplomatic on how I share information and give everybody an opportunity to heal. Give everybody the opportunity to reach a form of enlightenment, whatever that may look like that to them. So again, I come with humility. I come with peace. I come with love. And again, bro, I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to connect with you, to be a part of your wonderful platform. Because when I first see you on Facebook, I was like, this brother going hard. This brother every day, this dude posting his videos on fruit. I mean, his pictures on fruit.
Yeah,
they look good. He got the presentation. I was like, man, I need to step my game up. But the thing is, like, bro, one thing about me, man, I'm not consistent with that type of stuff. And I need to work on that, bro. And that's why I you, man, because you consistent. I need to be more consistent with showing my lifestyle like you, bro, because you do an amazing job with that. Just like even before we came on here, I see that you took the time to post about do a post on the smoothie that you made, man. And it's beautiful to see that. And I people need to see that beauty in the food that we consume.
You know, and you know what though? When you're doing as much work as you doing, you know, it's hard to show everything. You know what I'm saying? So you don't, you know, it's just something you just start doing in increments and slowly build. You know what I'm saying? Because with the work you doing, if I was doing the work you was doing, I wouldn't be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, definitely.
Let me tell you something else, bro. You inspired me to do more is the pineapples. I've always been a fan of pineapples, but now I got 2 pineapples in the crib. When I leave my office, go to the crib, juice me some pineapples, add me some coconut water, and have 64 ounces of coconut water, pineapple juice for dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And you know, it's important, man. Like, hey, man, this lifestyle, man. I'm gonna tell you like that. It brought me to want to learn more about everything.
Yes, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I always had that niche to learn, But this right here has changed my whole frequency and my whole perspective. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the whole, like, this is a whole new me. You know what I'm saying?
Let's before we go, bro, let's build a little bit on the power of fruit, bro, because, man, like,
definitely.
Like, I've always had a sweet tooth, and I've always loved fruit. But now, like, my spirit has just gradually led me on a path of wanting to consume more fruit. When I consume fruit, bro, it just feels right.
Yeah. It's an energizer, bro. But people get it twisted when they think you say like you eat a lot of fruits, you gonna have a lot of energy, right? But what it means is you gonna have a lot of more literal energy, but it's gonna have a lot more energy up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gonna think quicker. You gonna your clear vision. It's more energy to your cells. You know what I'm saying? You feel joy. Like, that's what the sugar do. You know what I'm saying? So when you start consuming it in the amount that I do, man, I was just telling Lachey this the other night. The amount of fruit sugar that I've had, that's the change in me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the change in me. And that's where you see the vibrant me. It's the sugar. And that's what's changed me. So I tell everybody who eating fruits or who trying to transition, man, try to get as much in you as possible. I don't care if it's through juicing, smoothies, however you do it. Get the sugar in you. And it's going to help you. It's going to help you through your day.
And this makes me think about the book by Dr. Joseph Spencer, You Are the Placebo. So he's pretty much talking about how we can create the reality when it comes to how we want to heal, when it comes to our health. So even with the fruit, when I'm consuming the fruit, I know it's healing my body. But the fact that I understand that I am the placebo, understanding that true healing starts in the mind, I have more intent when I consume that fruit. So this morning I had a smoothie. I had a strawberry, blueberry, dates, coconut water smoothie. About 64 ounces of that. It was amazing. So I do I do a liquid meal in the morning. I do a salad meal in the midday, and I do another liquid meal at night, which is I usually do juice. But that's usually I try to keep my diet extremely simple, and eat like that, man.
Yeah. And that right there, that diet is extreme as my diet.
Do you do all
do I do all what? Right now I just got off of basically 40 days of straight smoothies. And so now I got another challenge starting
three times a day?
Based on circumstance, it's circumstantial. I gotta work because I work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, normal work schedule, and that take away my time from getting the sugar. So I might have 2 smoothies that day, one before, one after, because I do a lot of juicing in the morning. And so now I got another challenge starting December 13th for 10 more days, where I'm about to just consume all fruits. So it's the fruit bowl challenge, but you can have an assorted amount of fruit, assorted variety in any amount. So I'm looking forward to actually eating the fruit after this 40 days of drinking the smoothie.
This is something I've been wanting to ask you, bro. You don't consume, and there's nothing wrong with it either. You don't consume all organic. So when you're not consuming all organic, you just clean your fruit real good.
Clean it with baking soda. Yeah. Baking soda alkalizes the water. And that's the best I can do. So I buy my fruit based on how it look. If it look healthy, I'll eat it. And most of the fruit I eat has a peel, like lemons, watermelon, pineapples. You know, I wouldn't stun it too much. I think it's a scare tactic to keep people from eating fruit.
You're right, bro. You're right. You're right. And then what I'm learning is a lot of these organic farms may be right beside a non-organic farm, and a lot of chemicals that's coming from that non-organic farm is getting into the organic stuff. So you really can't even, unless you go into a local farm or something like that.
Or growing your own.
Growing your own, yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, I say this. It ain't hurt me yet. It ain't did nothing but help me. I do buy organic when I can, but you know that's just expensive, man. You know, it is. So
some of these comments right quick, Bobby, before we because some people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see what we got here. Any questions? Lachey Taylor, I appreciate you. She said this interview is already deep.
Yeah, definitely.
Education is so important. Protect this man at all costs. Each one teach one. 13 families to go. Antonio needs a team.
Find out she know about 13 Son.
Oh yeah, Lachey deep. She got an interview tomorrow with Eileen.
Check that out.
Yeah, check that out. It's real. This is gonna be deep. Let me ask you that. How you feel about Eileen, man? Eileen's a beautiful person. She told me she was gonna reach out to you. I'm looking forward to y'all connection too, man.
She got good vibe, good energy. She introduced me to her group. Was it Kings Queens? Energy. Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning a lot, man. I'm learning more about the lifestyle, man. I'm still learning, man, and I'm still, you know what I'm saying. You already know.
Hey, we all learn.
It's challenging, man. It's challenging. So
with you, we all got to come together, man. That's what it is. You know, I'm doing something, you doing something that you can help me with. I'm doing something I can help you with. We're gonna find out a way to come together, and then we're gonna introduce.
And what challenge you got? Which challenge? Because I might join your challenge on in January. What challenge you got again in January?
Okay, I got 3 challenges. I got the mono. I got 4 of them. I haven't announced the 4th one yet though. But they all 7-day challenges where you eat one fruit, mono eating. So the first one is the citrus challenge. The second one is grapes, and the third one is pears. And I'm trying to find a 4th one. I might do another citrus because we gonna be heavy in citrus season. It's the peak, and it'll be real cheap. So might do another week at the end of the month. Then I'm going into a 21-day juice fast to celebrate my sobriety, February 21st.
Bro. And congratulations on your transformation, bro. For real.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Definitely, I appreciate it so much, man. It got me introduced to people like you, the community that I'm in, and you know, I'm not afraid to take on the challenge of becoming a leader in the community, man. And that's a fact. And I'm inspired by you. So I definitely appreciate you for taking your time, man. This ain't gonna be the only time we talk.
We definitely gonna reconnect. Like I said, bro, once I get my platform up and running, I'm definitely gonna be reaching out to you. So we can have even if we just build on some regular information type stuff. Just, you know, our 2 brothers get together and just talk and build. Like, we can do that as well, man.
I love it, man. I love it. So yeah, hey, you a phenomenal brother, man. You got a crazy, strong, inspiring, motivational story, man, and continue to do the work you're doing, man. And I'm inspired, and we're gonna build.
Appreciate you too, Bobby. Keep going, bro. Keep healing. Keep inspiring. Keep getting them fruits in you, and spread the word, bro, because we need it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Teamwork make the dream work.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, there we have it. Thank you for watching. That was a powerful interview. I appreciate everybody. We might be back next week with some more to it. So stay tuned. Appreciate the brother Antonio. You know, fruit up. I'm out.